morning, RaptorFreak. Alexiot's here. Tuesday morning. It's time for a Tuesday Jurassic Classic RaptorFreak trivia. But as per usual, I'm going to do a little bit of news and notes before just to let couple people come in. Tom Duke's ready. Let's get it on. He's ready and raring to go. Look out. Hold back, Tom Duke. Hold back, Tom Duke. I want to know how the hanging out together with Shane Waters went yesterday, Tom Duke. I hope you guys had a good time and stuff like that, catching up or hanging out and stuff like that. That's cool. Just a couple of things. All right. I was right yesterday, guys. I've been very correct with predicting what Scotty's going to do. He showed up yesterday in California and he is at Rico Hines. He is running the Rico Hines with Pascal and Tyrese Halliburton, Thomas Bryant, and get this, who's out there running with Pascal and Scotty Barnes at Rico Hines yesterday? James Harden. Yes, James Harden, the Sixer who's putting out the dumpster fire, is running runs with Pascal and Scotty in Beverly Hills, California right now, in West Hollywood. Scotty having his birthday in California, doing what he loves best, running pickup basketball at Rico Hines. I love it. He was working so hard yesterday. There's some great footage on Instagram of Scotty putting in work on the court. And with that kind of caliber of talent around him and Rico Hines' kind of direction and his coaching, wow, this could be really good. Like, this is really a big part of why Pascal became who Pascal is running with Rico Hines. So it cannot hurt that our one-year player coming in, second-year vet, Scotty Barnes, is out there running with them now. And it's got to be fun for him, too, because he's there with Pascal. It's like he has a best friend, a buddy who he's really familiar with, who's there with him to show him the ropes, and that they're getting that time together, that familiarity, the stuff we're talking about that kind of like way that they can play off each other, Pascal and Scotty Barnes, is really, really going to be exciting in the years to come. And being at Rico Hines right now, that's fantastic. I'm so happy that Scotty is at Rico Hines this week. And this is the best way he could have he spent his birthday. I'm not going to lie. Also, they went out to dinner afterwards, him and his friends. He went to a really nice steakhouse in Beverly Hills and had a big, fat, juicy steak and just having a good time with his buddies. Happy birthday, Scotty. I know you had a very memorable 21st birthday and hopefully one of your better birthdays in your entire life. So good stuff. Now, just real quick, good morning to you, Monique. And Tom Duke's saying, I'm going to see Shane tomorrow. Okay, cool. So you guys didn't link up yet. Awesome. One more thing. Blake Murphy has a really interesting tweet from yesterday about Juancho Hernangomez's contract that he signed with the Raptors. He's actually guaranteed for this year, guys, which is different than the other contracts of the other guys. It actually means that Hernangomez in some ways has a leg up to make the team, that he has an extra advantage over the other dudes that are competing for the spot because his contract's fully guaranteed. And that means he's just like Svi, guys. So it's the kind of thing that if we're going to cut Juancho, we're going to have to pay him out just like we would have to with Svi. So that kind of illuminates this whole camp battle and even more, and shows that in a way, Bo Cruz, Juancho Hernangomez actually has an advantage over the other guys going into training camp. This is what Blake said exactly. Juancho Hernangomez's deal with the Raptors is fully guaranteed for the year, per a source. So he'll have a good leg up on the camp competition. Raps have wiggle room to waive a guarantee, example, Svi, but that money is a good tiebreaker. So basically what Blake's saying is this is going to come down to like Juancho or DJ Wilson or Juancho and Justin Champagnie, that it may mean that Juancho has a more of an advantage because of the way we sign him. So this is very interesting. Svi and Juancho are basically in the same situation at this point. It'd be much harder to cut those two guys, but we can still. Just so y'all know, the flexibility is still there. Tom Duke saying guaranteed year means a roster spot for both of them, I'm hoping, Svi and Bo. Yeah, well, it could be that way. There may not be a whole lot of competition, that everything's kind of figured out and that things are just going to fall the way they are. He goes on further and he says locks: Siakam, Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG, Boucher, Thad, Scotty, Kem Birch, Otto Porter Jr., Precious, and Flynn. Unsigned, but likely Christian Coloco, and that's 12. And then there's a 3 battle for the last 3. We're not including the two-way contracts because they're separate. Wancho, full guarantee. Svi, full guarantee. Justin Champagny, 325,000 guarantee. Banton, 300,000 guarantee. And DJ Wilson, 250,000 guarantee. And Brooks is already gone. And Wainwright, we have to pay Wainwright some money this year also, which is crazy. And then we still have an open spot where we can still invite something completely new into this thing. And, there's a lot of weird names out there, a lot of veteran names, people like Carmelo Anthony and Wayne Ellington and people like that are kind of interesting in certain ways. It would be weird if we had Carmelo on our team all of a sudden. Like if he was like the last wing that we got and he was on our team, it'd be very interesting. I mean, he would actually fit things very well because the one thing that Carmelo can do in his older age in the NBA is he knows how to score still. And that if we needed like a reliable scorer off the bench, Anthony might be the guy. I don't know if he'd actually come here, but it is an interesting thought exercise to see the idea of Carmelo Anthony being on the Raptors this year. It's very possible. I'm not even gonna lie. It is possible. The money's there, and it's whether he wants to do it and if it would work and stuff like that. All right, we're about 6 minutes in, and I don't want to go too long today. I want to make this a shorter one, so we're going to try and do this in under half an hour. So today we're doing classic Jurassic Tuesday trivia, and it is Chris Bosh. That's right, guys. We're doing Chris Bosh for the trivia today. There's different reasons why I picked Chris Bosh today, and I don't fully want to go into them, but we're gonna do Chris Bosh as the trivia subject for today. All right, let's see. Alistair saying cutting Brooks makes us longer, and I believe Svi will be way better. Yeah, cutting Brooks is Cutting Brooks was, it just made sense. He wasn't going to fit. He wasn't going to be right. He helped us out a lot at the end of the season last year for a need. And that need went away when, Fred and Malachi got healthy. And now we have Jeff Doughton. So it's really kind of like, help him out. Let him get free so he can go and latch on with another team easier and not be too late. Like if we'd cut him in like September, he'd probably be pissed off at us, So it's like good that we did it now. David knows why. Oh, I know why. He knows why. Monique saying Rico workouts, man. Yeah, the workouts are good. Honestly, if we could get just a live camera into the gym for this week at Rico Hines, just be able to watch these guys, it would be so entertaining. I would love to just watch these dudes in their practice and see what they're working on and stuff like that. Of course, we won't get that. We'll get some footage here and there, pictures and information and different things about who shows up and who's there. I really hope Jeff Doughton is one of the people that is there also. That if he's in California also right now, go to Rico Hines, Jeff Doughton Jr. You're a Raptor. That's a Raptor coach. There's other Raptor guys there. Get you some time on the court with Pascal and Scotty at Rico Hines. It's cool. Tyrese Halliburton's there. And, I still think it's crazy that James Harden's there. But I think it's awesome. James has been working with Rico in the past. So this isn't anything new. And actually, it's kind of interesting because it kind of speaks to the friendship that James Harden and Pascal Siakam have. Because they've actually worked out in the offseason together for many years now. And that I've always forget this, that, James is so aloof and weird and stuff like that, that like James is a Rico Hines guy that's always been kind of around there for years and years and years. And Pascal came in and so they've worked a lot together. So when they battle in the playoffs, like last year, they have a friendship that's beyond just playing and competing each other. It's very interesting. You wouldn't think about that and stuff like that. All right, let's get this started. All right, we're talking about one of the greatest Raptors of all time, a Raptor that was very important, a Raptor who had his own era during our history. That's Chris Bosh, the Chris Bosh era, and Chris Bosh is our subject today. Somebody that I don't talk about a lot on this channel, but today we're going to talk about him. And, there's different reasons why I don't talk about him and stuff like that. His era is not that important. It's kind of a dark era. It's not really, there's a lot of different things about it. Let's see. Tom Duke saying, James seems like a new man getting ready for the season after giving up Mula. He seems like a new man in a lot of different ways as far as his attitude and being more of a team player and maybe being a little bit more serious about really trying to get a Larry O'Brien before he has to retire. That's the thing. He hasn't won one ever. He doesn't even have a single championship. So he really is trying to get his butt in gear to get it done while he still can. and stuff like that. All right, so let's start out with the trivia, guys. We got a nice good amount of people here. It's just 10 minutes now. So, all right, question number one, Chris Bosh, classic Jurassic trivia. What is Bosch's middle name? Who knows Chris Bosch's middle name? Just write it in the comments when you know what it is, and whoever gets it first will get 25 points. What is Chris Bosch's middle name? Do you guys know what his middle name is? I know it's as quick as a Google search, but does anybody know it off the top of their head? Raymond Jacob is in first. It's Wesson. Just like the oil, his middle name is Wesson. I was always thought that was a weird middle name, Wesson. It's like Wesson Oil. Dwight, that's a good answer. I wish his middle name was Dwight. Let's see, Chris Dwight Bosch. That sounds pretty cool. That works pretty good. But yeah, Wesson. It's not the normal kind of middle name. All right, let's keep going. What pick in the draft did the Raptors choose Chris Bosh at? What number in the draft was he chosen? David knows this off the top of his head. Is 4th. That's right. Just like our big Roy yesterday, his birthday, he's number 4 draft pick. So is Chris Bosh. You're just behind him, Raymond. You guys are dueling here. I can see this is going to be a real Raymond versus David day here. I can see, Tom, you'll be involved too. I believe in you. All right, guys, off the top of your head, how many All-Star selections did Chris Bosh get while he was on the Raptors? How many times was he on the All-Star team when he was on the Raptors? Raymond says, no, Monique's saying 4. Okay, that's the 4th pick still. 2 All-Star? No, that's wrong, Jordan. That's a good guess. How many times was him on? 1? Raymond saying no. Alistair saying 7. No. Tom Duke has got it. He was on the All-Star team 5 times as a Raptor. Tom Duke getting in there and getting it. He was a Raptor All-Star 5 times. Now, on top of that, the bonus question, how many times was Chris Bosh an All-Star in his whole entire career? How about that one? Who knows that one off the top of their head? So he was a Raptor for 5 of those times, but how many more did he get when he was in Miami? How many did he end up with by the time his career is over? Raymond says 12. That's wrong, but it's very close. Alistair says 8. That's wrong. David says 7. That's wrong. Tom Duke, once again, getting it. It's 11. He was an 11-time All-Star. Did you guys realize that Chris Bosh was on the All-Star team 11 times? And some of those times when he was on the All-Star team when he was with Miami, I didn't think he really statistically deserved it. It was more that he was on the champions and he was part of that whole nucleus because his stats didn't look as good at that point in his career. But he's an 11-time All-Star. That seems so crazy. 11-time All-Star. That's a lot of years to be an All-Star. And that's why he's in the Hall of Fame, a lot of it too. All right, next one, guys. This one's pretty easy, so be quick and be ready. What city was Chris Bosh born in? What city was Chris Bosh born in? Yeah, this one's pretty well known, and most really diehard Raptor fans will know this. Monique, maybe you can get this one point in there real quick. Alistair says Houston. That is wrong. It is not Houston. There we go. David S. is on it. Now, you guys know that there are a couple of Dallases around the country, so I do like the state to be in there, but because it is the major city and we know that that's what you mean, we're just going to let you guys have it. Dallas, Texas, USA. That's right. Raymond Jacob making sure there's no, because there could be a Dallas, Texas, Canada, right? No. But yeah, I'm going to give it to David, even though Raymond put it in the way I like it. But there's really not many other well-known Dallases. So we'll just give it there. All right, next one. They're going to get harder. These are the easy ones now. They're going to get a lot harder. Trust me. All right, let's see. Yeah, Monique's in there with Dallas. Yep, that's it. I knew Monique knew that one. I knew Monique knew that one right from the start. She knew that right away. All right. Who is Chris Bosh's biggest influence as an NBA player? What player in the NBA history was the biggest influence on Chris Bosh in his game? Who has he cited as his biggest influence? It's kind of like what we did with Damon Stoudemire last week was Nate Tiny Archibald. Who is the biggest influence on Chris Bosh? That's the interesting one. You guys might have to take some guesses. Alistair got it right away. It's Kevin Garnett. That's right, Alistair. Good job. It's weird because their careers kind of overlap each other. It's not that Kevin Garnett was in the league before him. They played against each other. And so Chris was actively ripping off Kevin Garnett in the league as they played each other. He was trying to be like him while they were playing, stuff like that. Pretty interesting stuff. Yeah, it wasn't Carter, guys. Flemish School of Painting. That's funny. I like that. All right, let's keep going. All right, this one's really hard. And Monique, be ready for this because this may be one where you can get and just write it in as quick as you can because these other guys might not know it. You might. Which Raptor teammate was Chris Bosch's mentor in his rookie season? Listen, stupid fucking. Yeah, go on. Please go save someone's life, please. Seriously. All right. Which Raptor teammate was Chris Bosch's mentor in his rookie season? As a rookie in the Raptors, who was the guy who reached out to him and helped him out the most in his first year? Tom Duke thinks it's Vince Carter. You know what? It should have been Vince Carter, but it wasn't Vince Carter. Nope. Vince was there. It should have been him, but it wasn't him. He was not the man who mentored him or taught him when he came in. Alistair says Antonio Davis. That's not correct either. I'm not even sure if Davis was on the team at that time. He might have been, but he's not who his mentor is. This is a very obscure Raptor, and it's somebody that you guys are not probably going to get right off the top of your head. This may be something interesting. Alistair saying JYD. No, I wish it had been JYD. It wasn't JYD either. In fact, I wondered about this question. This may be the hardest question today. Morris Peterson? No, Alistair. That's a good guess. Not right. He would have been a good one, but it wasn't him. Jordan says Alonzo Mourning. I hope that's a joke because Alonzo never came and played for us. Tom Duke, I don't believe Mario Chalmers ever played for us either. Charlie Villanueva is an interesting guess. He actually was a Raptor rookie after Chris Bosh. So he wasn't actually on the team when Chris Bosh was a rookie. He came after him as a draft pick and only played for 1 year with Bosh. No, Alvin Williams is not right either, Alistair. He would have been a good mentor, but it's not him. I'm wondering if Monique is going to get this one. This is a tough question. In fact, this is a guy who's not really associated with being a Raptor. It's somebody who was not here that long. PJ Tucker is another good guess. He was, I don't know, at that time, PJ was so young, he was a knucklehead. He was not in any kind of position to mentor anybody else and stuff like that. Charles Oakley, this is interesting. We're going through a whole list here. I might have to give you guys some clues because this is a little bit obscure. Alistair, Charles Oakley is wrong, unfortunately. How about I do this? The team that he was more known with was Detroit. This was the team that he was probably most well known for playing on. Andrea Bargnani is wrong. He came after Bosch also. He was a draft pick after Bosch. Bosch was older than him. The other, I guess the very easiest clue I could give you is he shares the same last name as the current finals MVP. How about that? That might give it away right there. He shares the same last name as the current finals MVP. And he played most of his career in Detroit, and that's where he's more well known. No, it's not Del Curry, guys. That's a little bit of a, Del Curry's a good guess from what I just said, but it's not Del Curry. He's not the right answer. He wasn't on the Raptors when Bosch was here. He had left, and I think he'd already retired from the league by the time Bosch got here. So it's not Dell, but you got the right last name. It's just, that's what I'm saying. It's really hard. Eddie Curry. Yeah, no, it's not Eddie Curry. Eddie Curry's not the right Curry. Let's see if Monique can jump on this one. Do you know the Curry that I'm talking about, Monique? And there's only a few players that have had that last name in the league and stuff like that. So, Mr. Curry. Raymond Jacob, you trickster. That is, you know what? You're right, Raymond Jacob. 25 points, Mr. Curry. No, I'm not going to give you that one, although that is technically right. It is technically right, but it's not what I'm looking for here. Maybe you're even closer because of certain. Oh, there it is. Jordan got it. It's Michael Curry. Do you guys remember Michael Curry? Like he was a shaved head, bald head. He was like a small forward for the Pistons, and we came and got him for like a year and a half. He was on the Raptors. Yeah, it was Michael Curry is the name, and that is Jordan getting it. Good job, Jordan. Jordan getting on the board, getting his first 25 points of the season. Congratulations, Jordan. We're glad you're on there. Yeah, Michael Curry was Chris Bosh's mentor in his rookie season at the Raptors. Why was it Michael Curry? Why wasn't it Vince Carter? That's what I'm saying. Vince, you should have been Chris's mentor. But I think at that time, maybe you were a little, I don't know what was going on with you at that time, Vince. Let's see. Jordan saying, my older brother's name is Michael. There you go. He had an unfair advantage. Yeah, Michael Curry's the answer. All right, let's keep going. Who is the Raptors GM associated with the Bosch years? Now, he wasn't the GM who drafted him, but he is the GM who was the GM of the Raptors for most of the years that Chris Bosh was on our team. You guys got to realize Bosch played here for 7 years. He was on the Raptors for a long time. He was the face of the Raptors. Raymond Jacobs saying Grenwald? No, it wasn't Glenn Grenwald. He didn't even draft him. He was way before Bosch came. He was in the Vince Carter era. More Glenn Grunwald. Glenn Grunwald. Nice pronunciation. Brandon Malone, that's the first coach of the Raptors. That's not a GM. That's the first coach of the Raptors, the father of the current coach of the Denver Nuggets, Brandon Malone. Brendan Malone. Yeah, former assistant coach of the Bad Boys Pistons under Chuck Daly. That's his lineage there. That's why he was the first coach of the Raptors, was because he was assistant coach for Chuck Daly on the Bad Boys, and Isaiah Thomas was the general manager and president of the Raptors at the time. He said, well, we'll get Chuck Daly's number one assistant coach to coach the Raptors in the first year. And he was an absolute fail, and he did not get to coach much longer after that. David's wrong. It's not Glenn Grunwald, y'all. Who was the GM during the Bosch years? Who was the general manager of the Toronto Raptors during the Bosch era for the most part? Jack McCluskey. Wow, I love that. That's the old GM of the Pistons. What? Click, what's up, Click? Been a minute. What's up? All right, Click, maybe you know this off the top of your head. No, not Jack McCluskey, guys. He was like our interim GM for like a split second when we needed somebody in an emergency pinch, but he's really a Detroit Pistons GM. Who was the GM during the Bosch years, guys? Who was our Bobby Webster when Chris Bosh was our franchise player? His father was a very important GM in the league in Phoenix. Yeah, he was doing a lot of things out there. And then his dad, Rob Babcock, is the GM who drafted Chris Bosh. Jordan. So, but you're closer. He was actually GM when Bosch was on the team, but that was at the very beginning. There we go. Raymond Jacob coming in, and it is Brian Colangelo, guys. During the years when Chris Bosh was on the team, Brian Colangelo was in charge. He was the one who was trying to fit guys with him like Andrea Bargnani. And it didn't totally work. No, it did not. And so I think that Colangelo is kind of like a mixed results of success and failure. There were some things that he did very well, but there was a lot of failure also. So, yeah. Alistair saying Rob Babecock. That's a weird. Tom Duke saying, what fake news? Congratulations, DeMar, on the big news. Well, the news for DeMar that Monique's talking about is he has re-signed a 4-year contract with Kobe's shoe line, that he is the face of Kobe Bryant's shoe line. And that's who he should be. It should be him. Kid from Compton, kid that grew up in L.A. Kobe Bryant's his idol. Before Kobe, when Kobe retired, he passed on certain secrets about how to score with footwork in the NBA that he gave to DeMar right when he left. He said, I want you to know my secrets about my mid-range and my footwork. And that's why DeMar leveled up when Kobe retired, because he gave him proprietary information about how to be a really good NBA scorer that isn't general knowledge that Kobe shared with DeMar. So DeMar has always been kind of Kobe's understudy and valued kind of like person that he really admires and stuff, and vice versa. So this is great for DeMar. He's the perfect person to be the face of Kobe Bryant's shoe line. And congratulations to him. So, all right, let's keep moving. All right, this is a question like last week. Which U.S. president is the name of Chris Bosh's high school? Last week we asked Damon Stoudemire's, and it was Woodrow Wilson. Who is the president that Chris Bosh went to high school? What is the name of the president of this high school that he went to in Dallas? What was that president's name? The high school that he went to, Chris Bosh. Let's see if anybody gets it. All right, Tom Duke got it right away. It's Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln is the right answer. I went to Lincoln High School also. So I went to Abraham Lincoln High School also. So yeah, Mr. Never Lie, Abraham Lincoln. I could never tell a lie, but I'll wrestle you to the ground like a bear. All right, let's see. George Bush is not right, Alistair. Horrible answer. All right. All right, let's go. Question number 9. What is the nickname of the college where Bosch went to university? What is the nickname of the college that Bosch went to university at? What is their nickname? You got to figure out what university went to first, and then tell me what their nickname is for that university. It's a little bit of a two-parter in your head. The Lumberjacks? No, it's not Lumberjacks. Mainland? Why do you keep saying mainland? I don't know what that is. Mainland. I don't know. Lumberjacks is wrong. It was not the Lumberjacks. He did not play for the Lumberjacks. It's kind of funny though. I like that. Oh, I'm a lumberjack. Oh, I don't care. Yellow Jackets. That's right. David S. got it. He was a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket. Georgia Tech in Atlanta, Georgia Technical Institute. And it's in the Atlantic Coast Conference, which plays against Florida State and Duke and North Carolina and NC State and University of Miami, ACC school, Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. That's right. Tom Duke, you got it too. I see that. All right, guys, here's some easier questions. Let's see how quick you guys are on this. Which Raptors coach did Bosch play for most of his time in Toronto? Who was the coach of the Raptors for most of Bosch's career in Toronto? Like, who was the coach? Who was the coach he dealt with the most in his years in Toronto? Over the 7 years he was in Toronto, there was one coach that he had for most of that time. And who was it? Which guy? Brandon Malone. Once again, start in the beginning. That's wrong. It's not Brandon. Okay, Alistair got it. Sam Mitchell. That is right. Sam Mitchell was primarily Chris Bosch's coach when he was on the Raptors, but there were 2 other coaches that coached Chris Bosch while he was on the Raptors. Can you name the 2 other coaches that coached Chris Bosch while he was on the team? Monique, you might be able to get on this one. Who were the 2 other coaches that coached Chris Bosch? Dwayne Casey is wrong. He did not ever coach Chris Bosch. Raymond Jacob, unfortunately, might have done some good with him. Who knows? Casey was a great coach. We love Casey, even though he revenges us all the time. All right, Tom Duke saying Jay Triano. That is exactly right. Jay Triano was the coach of his last year in Toronto. And that was pretty much it. He was just around him for maybe a year. There's one other coach before Sam Mitchell that coached him right when Bosch first came in the league, when he was a rookie. Who was his coach when he was a rookie? That's the question. There's bookends. It's like this guy, Sam Mitchell, for most of his career, and then Dre Triano, and then he leaves and goes to Miami. But who was his coach when he was a rookie in the NBA? Chris Bosch. That was an interesting one. You guys may not remember this guy. Maybe Monique will remember this guy. I think Monique will, but we'll see if she gets it in here. Let's see. This is a very tough one. This is somebody that gets forgotten in Raptors history. There we go. Tom Duke's got it. He didn't spell it right, but I don't care. It is Kevin O'Neill. Kevin O'Neill was the correct answer. He was a real fail as a coach for sure. And yeah, that he might have been part of the reason why Carter left. I'm not gonna lie. Between Rob Babcock and Kevin O'Neill, that was just a dumpster fire. We were a dumpster fire at that time. Very high on the dumpster fire rankings for the Raptors in the era of Rob Babcock and Kevin O'Neill. Yeah. Okay, keeping on, moving on. What did Chris Bosch dress up as to try to get all-star votes in 2008? What did he dress up as on a clip to try and tell people to vote for him for the All-Star game in 2008? Do you guys know what costume he was wearing or what he was impersonating in this famous clip from his career? He's trying to get votes, telling people to vote for him for the All-Star game. And he said, it doesn't even cost you a thing. It won't cost you anything. All right. Alistair says a clown. That's funny, but it's not right. But Monique got it. That's it. Monique is on the board. A cowboy. That's right. Good job, Monique. He dressed up like a cowboy and he did an accent. And he said, hey, y'all, I would like y'all to come and vote for me for All-Star. It won't cost you. You want to know how much it'll cost you? It won't cost you $100. It won't cost you $50. It won't cost you $20. It won't cost you a thing to vote for Chris Bosch for All-Star 2008. That's what he was doing. That's right. Good job, Monique. Getting in there first. Monique knew it was a cowboy. That's right. Good job, Monique. I'm proud of you. All right, let's see. Yeah, Tom Duke is going whoop whoop, and he's got little cowboys with cowboys hats. All right, good job, Monique. All right, let's keep moving. Keep moving, moving. All right, next question is in the area of philanthropy, what two causes is Chris Bosh a huge advocate for? There are two in particular that he has foundations for. He does work here in Toronto still to this day with these foundations. And what are the two areas that he gives the most to as far as his time, money, and energy to help out? What two causes is he playing for? If he was on Family Feud, Celebrity Family Feud, and they asked him, "What causes are you playing for today, Chris?" What two causes would he tell Louis Anderson or Steve Harvey or Richard Dawson or Ray Coombs or whoever, whichever Family Feud host you want to say? What are the two causes that mean the most to Chris Bosh? Let's just put it that way. Raymond Jacobs saying he should have just wore a dinosaur costume. He looked like one, really. That's not very nice, but it is true. Yeah, teaching kids to read is actually one of them, Raymond. Reading and education is one of them. Raymond just got that one. That is right. Teaching kids to read is a huge, huge important cause to Chris Bosh. And he has stuff here and stuff like that. Alistair's saying breast cancer awareness. That is not on my list. He could be involved in that or care about that, but it's not the two that I found that are the most important to him. Blood clot research. I see the humor in what you're saying there, David, but no, that is not one of the causes and stuff like that. This last one is a very special one. It's one that has been a very important one that people have talked about and is commonly something that somebody would play for charity, something that people care about. Yeah, I know that's sad. It's sad, and you know, it is what it is. You know, this may be tough to figure out. You guys just name causes, and we'll get to it. We'll figure it out. Cancer is a good guess, but it's not right. Tom Duke, it's a good guess though. It really is. I don't know. Let me see. How can I give this a good clue without giving it away? Racism? No, I mean that he probably does and is an advocate against racism, but this isn't one he's specifically known for. You know, there's reading and education, as you got earlier, and then there's something else that he actually has a big foundation here in Toronto for that you guys may not know about. Tom Duke's saying polar bears. No, I don't think it's that. Monique saying music lessons, charity. That kind of would go along with the education side of things. It's not an education thing. This is more something else at this point. David S. is saying sports and education amongst youth. That kind of goes along with the reading one. The other answer is the education thing with youth. Reading and education, I kind of put together because that is really one of his big causes. But there's one other cause that he's like he's the chairperson on the board here in Canada, I think, in Toronto for this other cause. I think. And it does have to do with physical fitness. Let's just put it that way. But it's a very specific thing. Social enrichment and physical fitness. It's not that, but it has something to do with physical fitness in a certain way. Climate change? No. More people should be involved in that and be tooting the horn, but he's not. It's not this. Let's just say that I said it has something to do with physical fitness, and it's a special cause. Let's just put it that way. Maybe that word is kind of giving things away right there. Is that's my clue is by saying that. So and it's something that like does have to do with athletics. How about that? That may tell you something there. Kids with disabilities. Okay, you're getting warmer. Maybe you could tell me a very specific cause that has kind of to do with what I just talked about. It has to do with physical fitness and what you just said, Raymond Jacob. How about that? That should give it away right there. It's a very easy answer if it has to do with those two things. Well, David, what's that called? Give me the answer. You know, the real answer. I mean, that's pretty much right, but what is it called? You know the answer to like the real term and what the cause is called. Exactly. Raymond got it. Special Olympics. Chris Bosh is a huge donor and person who's been he's been involved in Special Olympics Toronto for 15, 20 years. So, and he's still involved in it. So it's not like he left and he turned his back on his philanthropy here in Canada. He still does it and stuff like that. So Special Olympics, yeah, Special Olympics and reading. Those were the two answers. So good job. All right, Raymond got them both. Good job. All right, this one's a little more current, and we'll see who's been paying attention. This is I didn't even know about this until yesterday, or actually Sunday when I wrote this. What is the title of Chris Bosch's book released in 2021? He released a book last year. What is the title of Chris Bosch's book that he wrote? If you guys can figure that out. Raymond Jacobs saying, I wasn't a big Raps fan during Chris's years, but I got a lot of questions right. Yeah, well, these aren't easy. A lot of people, it was hard to be a Raps fan at that time. Listen, I wasn't even living in Canada, so I wasn't even seeing a lot of the Chris Bosch years. I was in Florida at that time, and it is what it is. All right, Tom Duke got it. Letters to a Young Athlete. That is exactly right, Tom Duke. I'm curious about that book now. I bet this is the kind of book where Chris Bosch is writing to his younger self and telling what he would tell his younger self with his knowledge of having his career now. And in some ways, I'm very intrigued to read this book to get more insight to the psyche and who the personality of Chris Bosch is and stuff like that. So that's very interesting book. And I think I'm going to have to go get it and read it. Stuff like that. Letters to a Young Athlete. That's what it sounds like to me. All right, let's see. We got how many more questions? We got 4 more questions, guys. So let's keep going. All right. What was the medical issue that caused Chris Bosch to retire early? This has already been said, so this should be easy. What was the medical issue that made Chris Bosch retire? Unfortunately, it's too bad. There was a joke earlier that kind of said it. So yeah, there, Raymond's got it. Blood clots. That's right. Just a formality there. That's right. It's unfortunate and sad. I know he did want to retire when he did. He really wanted to continue and figure out a way to keep playing, but it just didn't happen. All right, here's some fun questions, guys. The last 3 questions are pretty fun. Which Marvel character did Chris Bosch voice on a Marvel cartoon? Which famous Marvel character did Chris Bosch voice in a Marvel cartoon? He got a job as a voiceover actor for a Marvel cartoon. It was a Hulk cartoon. What character from the Marvel universe did he give the voice to in that cartoon when he did it? Pulmonary embolism. No, it was blood clots. It's blood clots. Tom Duke is not Hulk. He did not get to voice the Hulk. Hulk smash! Hulk smash! No, it wasn't really a main character of Marvel, but it is a known character in Marvel. If you know Marvel Universe, you have a real. There we go, Tom Duke. Wow, that's right. Asgard's hero Heimdall. Heimdall. I think I say it right. Heimdall. Heimdall. I don't know. I always say it. Idris Elba played him in like some of the Marvel movies, but Chris did his voice in a cartoon, so he did Heimdall. That's right, Tom Duke. You the man, Tom Duke, getting it. That's badass. I love that he wrote in Asgard hero. Yeah, the gatekeeper. Heimdall. Yeah, and David was right after him. David was right after him. He's trying to come after those points there. I see it. I see it. All right. 2 more questions, guys. This one's got 2 answers, so be ready. What 2 major television shows has Chris Bosch appeared on? 2 major shows. These are not like unknown shows. These are huge shows that he showed up on. Like, what 2 major shows has he appeared on in the history of television? He's been on 2 very popular hit shows that he's made an appearance on, just been on the show, 2 in particular. I'll give you guys clues if you're not anywhere close on your guesses, but I'm going to see if you guys can guess them first. Maybe you remember him being on these shows, something like that. But these aren't little shows. My Wife and Kids? No. City of Bones? No. Echo Park? No, neither one of those. Is that a movie, City of Bones? I'm talking about TV shows. I'm talking about on the television. Very Mallory. Tom Duke. No, it's not Very Mallory. These are big shows. Like, these are way bigger than My Wife and Kids and Very Mallory. I don't even know what that is. Very Mallory. Is that a Disney show? Very Mallory. No, I'm talking about, these are big shows. These are shows that have huge fans and millions of viewers that watch them. And like, they're maybe 2 of the best shows ever in the history of TV. If you like took the top 200 TV shows ever. Shut Up and Dribble. No, it wasn't any reality TV shows. Monique, I wish you were faster too. But it is what it is. I can't figure out a way to do this so that it's easier for you in some ways. I mean, it is. I know it is. In some ways, it's you're at a disadvantage. I hate that, but you're doing really well considering. And maybe it's more fun for you to play along and get the answers, and you could keep your own score and say, "Well, I got this one right. I got this one right," before somebody else got it. If it's that frustrating to you. And because, like, I know that you know all these and you could get them and you would get the points. It's just the whole aspect of trying to get in there fast enough. I know you would get them all. I know how you are with the team. You know it. Let's see. Tom's just looking on the web. Say yes to the messy dress. No, it wasn't any reality shows, guys. Law and Order is not right. It's a good guess. It's a better guess. Jeopardy? No, it's not a game show. It's not a reality show or anything like that. The Pawnee Eagleton Tip-Off Classic. Is that one of the best 200 TV shows of all time, guys? Come on. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Joseph starts saying Chris with hair or without hair. I don't know. Chris had hair at this time, I believe. Patrick Douglas says Law and Order is nose right, but Alistair's got one of them. Entourage is one of the answers. Entourage is exactly right, Alistair. He was on an episode of Entourage at one point. So that is right. There's one more guess. Friends is wrong, Raymond. Seinfeld is wrong also. But the show that he was on is similar to those two shows. It was a half-hour situation comedy. So, and it was on NBC. How about we'll say that also, that just like those two shows. Boom, David S. got it. He was on an episode of Parks and Recreation. David S. sneaking in and getting that one at the end there. Very cool, guys. Very happy to see some very interesting answers for that question. Like, I'm like wondering what is the Pawnee Eagleton Tip-Off Classic? Is that a golf show? I don't know what that is. Without hair, I think. Well, he had hair later in his career, right? When did he have? He had hair. Didn't have hair in his very beginning of his career. Then he had the twisty hair at the end of his Raptor career, and then he went to Miami and he didn't have hair again for a little bit, and then he grew hair back in again. I think it was something like that. Not 30 Rock, not Pimp My Ride. Pimp My Ride. What a crazy show that was. The Boondocks. That would have been awesome. But no, we've already answered the question. There's only one more question left for 25 points, guys. And here we go. Which major hip hop artist did Chris Bosh co-produce a single for? Which major hip hop artist did Chris Bosh? He dabbled in music production for a little bit, and he helped co-produce a single for this hip hop artist that got put out. What artist was that? Jay-Z is not right, but it is a big artist. It's a big deal. Somebody that it's interesting. It's somebody that was in the video that Scotty reviewed the other day on Friday. He reviewed a video. And this artist was in that video that Scotty was reacting to on his Twitch stream on Friday. Puffy, no. Jay-Z, no. Eminem, no. Kanye, no. Dre, no. Snoop, no. Drake, no. Ja Rule, no. These are all good guesses. Bosch has actually been on many shows, Google says. Well, I was just looking for the three major shows, the big ones, Entourage and Parks and Rec. But yeah, he probably has been on a few shows. I did say it in the question. I said, what two major shows, like big time shows, very popular. I said like top 200 of all time TV shows. DMX, no. J. Cole, no. Nickelback, that's an interesting idea. Not Nickelback. Lil Uzi's a little too recent. DZ Brown, no. That video that he watched the other day was called Us Versus Them. And it has Quavo in it. That's all I'll say about it. But Quavo's not the rapper, I'm saying. Jay-Z is wrong. We've had that already. 50 Cent is wrong. This is a rapper that's well-known and has been around a long time, but he's not really like these guys that you guys are saying. It's not like he's not as mainstream as Jay-Z or 50 Cent, stuff like that. Drake had his shows canceled due to COVID. Yeah, that was sad. These cancellations of concerts have been annoying, and like the weekends canceled because of like the Rogers outage. And now one of the rappers got COVID, so they had to cancel part of OVO Fest. It's too bad. Patrick Douglas thinks his future. That's getting closer. That's probably the best guess we've gotten so far. Patrick Douglas is there. Canadian rapper? No, he's not a Canadian rapper. He's a U.S. rapper. Cameron, no. DZ Brown, no. Choclair, Cardinal, Offset, no. Cardinal Official, no. No. Snow. I just said he's not a Canadian rapper. This is an American rapper. And this is somebody that's along the same lines of Future. He's about as famous and popular and well known as Future. Future's a pretty equal person to this person. The Informa, someone I let that boom boom, yeah. All right, Little Baby, no. Snow, Sexy Girl. No, no, these are wrong. Black Thought, no. No, I may have to give you guys a better guess. Seriously, somebody go look up Quavo of Us versus Them and go look and see who was on there with him. You'll figure it out. Quavo, Us versus Them. This is the video that Scotty was bumping on his Twitch stream last week. He was like, this is good. Us versus Them. If it's going to be Us versus Them, we're going to win. It's kind of how it was going. 2 Chainz is wrong. J Vole? You mean J. Cole? No, not J. Cole. Khalid? No, but Jordan got it. Finally, somebody got it. Jordan got it. It's Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane is who Chris Bosh helped co-produce a single for. Good job, Jordan Y. Jordan getting some questions today. Congratulations. Good stuff. You got it, baby. It is Gucci Mane. It's not Jalen Harris. It's not The Game. It's not Bone Thugs. See you at the crossroads. You and my baby. Think about the crossroads. I love this song. Tech Nine, no. Daddy Jack, no. All right, now those are all the questions, guys. Good job. Chris Bosh, Jurassic Classic trivia today. I hope you learned something about our great old Raptor Hall of Famer, who's really a Miami Heat player now. He's not really a part of our nation. It is what it is. But, he does have an important history and legacy with us. It's really good that Kyle and DeMar came into our team and took all the Raptor records away from Chris Bosh. That he did not deserve to be the leader of all of our records here because, he left and went and got championships with LeBron and stuff like that. I have a weird relationship with Chris Bosh. In some ways, I really like the guy. I'm so happy for him that he did win championships. But in some ways, I'm also still kind of mad at him. But you know what? I like him enough that I think he's a good dude, and I'll celebrate him. And he's always welcome in Toronto, of course. And we do celebrate him and stuff like that. But he really is more Heat Nation at this point, which is too bad. Jordan saying, I'm really glad to have learned more about my favorite Raptor. That's awesome. So you learned some stuff about Bosch today that you didn't know. There you go, guys. So I hope I didn't tip my hat too soon about which classic Raptor would be the subject of the trivia today. I hope I kept it secret long enough. Maybe David did get some research in, but he did okay. He did all right. I'll post the new points listing standings in the comment after this and show you guys who's on top now. Looks like there's going to be some movement on the board, just a little bit. And once again, just to remind y'all what you're playing for, it's good old Vince when he looked like Shaq. For some reason, he looks like Shaq, and he's wearing a Mr. Big jersey, and it's just a cool, eccentric, weird Raptor item that you get. This Vince Carter bobblehead. First of all, it says Vince Carter at the bottom. You see it, and it's not licensed. You can see the box. It's a weird box. I have never opened this box. The box is worn. The figure has stayed in there. So whoever is on top when somebody wins an NBA championship next June or July, they're going to win this. So it's a long, long process, but could be at your house by this time next year. So that's what you're playing for. Eyes on the prize. Eyes on the prize. That's right. David's saying, I got crushed. This was a level playing field. Well, this is just how it's going to be. We want this competition. We want a lot of names getting different questions and stuff like that. I love seeing that we have like 7 different names getting questions today. That's good. Joseph Starks got it now. Gucci Mane. That's right, Joseph Starks. You're 5 minutes too late. It's too bad. All right, tomorrow, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. It's a Wild Card Wednesday. Maybe something that I react to that happens today. Maybe we'll get some cool footage, more of Rico Hines runs and stuff like that. Maybe drop some news on Raptor World. Maybe we get another player coming our way all of a sudden because we dropped Armani Brooks and we have an open spot for training camp. So whatever the news of the day will be, we'll have it tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, you went out of order on purpose. Yeah, I did do that. There's a reason why I picked today. It's actually a really sad reason and stuff like that for why I picked Chris Bosh to do it today. But he knows what I'm doing. Okay, we'll have to see. What I'll say is that today's the day that my ex-wife left me 13 years ago today. And that I'm doing Chris Bosh today because that's what I associate with her. Is that Chris Bosh left me also at the same time when my wife left me. Chris Bosh left the Raptors and went to Miami. So that kind of gives you your timeline and stuff like that. But today's the day that she did 13 years ago today. And that's the whole reason why I picked him today. It's just because of that. I was like, let's just get it all out of the way today, is what I'm saying. You guys are asking about his modem speed and stuff like that. I think that he just went and looked it up and he didn't see that we figured it out. And he just came back and wrote it in then. Let's see what Monique's saying. Fred, 54 game Lex. Are you talking about Malachi? Or Fred? I don't know what Fred did. Did Fred get a 54 game too? I know that Malachi's killing it in Drew League and stuff like that. In fact, I think we might be doing Malachi Flynn Share the Love Club this week because we need to get him in there too. He's somebody that his name is, he's been maligned. Malachi's been maligned and mistreated by Raptor Nation to a degree because he hasn't gotten a chance to prove himself or any kind of thing like that yet. And you know what? He's proven himself right now in the Pro-Ams this summer and stuff like that. So we're going to probably do a Share the Love Club for Malachi Flynn this week. We want to do all the Raptors at some point in different ways. And I was just kind of picking opportune times and stuff like that. I know it's a little early in the week to be announcing this, but I think it's going to be Malachi Flynn, Share the Love Club for Saturday this week. Let's see, Dial Up. He's on Dial Up. Well, listen, we all have our limitations and things we're fighting against in this Raptor Freak Trivia League. Whether it's Tom Duke's on the West Coast and he's got a little bit of a lag because he's so far away. I mean, people were playing the trivia in other continents. Somebody was playing in Africa last season. And they were behind people partly because they were so far away. So there's different things people are having to deal with and stuff like that. So nobody cares. Scotty has a CB4's jersey. Yeah, see, that's part of it too. In some ways, we have a new four. We have a new, more important four than who Chris Bosh was. I don't want to erase Chris Bosh's history because it is an important chapter of the Raptors' history. It was a bad time, but it was what it was. And it's not really Chris's fault. Chris was a good player. He did really good things for us. He was one of our best players and carried our team for a long time. But it also is kind of like, you did us wrong at the end too. So it is. Malachi's doing his first camp. Yeah, I saw that. This is really cool. And I'm glad you brought this up, Monique. You always remind me of things I forget to talk about. Malachi's doing a camp here in Toronto, guys. That's really good. And I think I encourage people to go do Malachi's camp or anybody's camp when they do these kind of camps, especially, just if you're playing basketball yourself and you want to get better. Let's see. David saying I'm fighting a conspiracy. No, it's not going to be like that. Like I said, I want an even playing field. That's all. And David, it's just that you don't want it out on a silver platter for you. You want to work for it. And listen, you'll get it if you work for it, and you'll get it. I really believe in you. You're a favorite for this year, for sure. Denial saying Flynn getting the same numbers as real stars in the league. I don't think he's a legit threat. Laugh out loud. The thing about Malachi Flynn and what he did in Pro-Am is that, listen, this is the same Drew League that, LeBron and DeMar showed up and they dropped 72 points between the two of them. Well, Malachi just came into Drew League and dropped 53 points there. He did 70 in Seattle. He did 50 in Drew League. And the thing about Drew League is, the whole Hawk team, this is the funny thing. The Hawks showed up 2 weekends ago, just John Collins and Trae Young, and they got beat. And John Collins fouled out, and they looked bad. They lost. They got beat in Drew League by the Drew League players. So they showed up again this weekend, but this time they showed up with DeJounte with them. And I still don't think they did that well. If you look at their points totals and you look at what Malachi did, and you're trying to figure that all out, that's what I'm saying. There's a weird disconnect between Malachi's real talent and who he is and what we're actually seeing on the court in Raptor games and what has been produced from him. That there is some real potential and skill and crazy good basketball player in him that we're just not seeing translated on the NBA court when the Raptors have to play. And we may see that more this year. This dude is serious. I can tell, looking at him, this dude is on a mission. And I believe in Malachi. Like if he's somebody's playing for their life and they're a competitor and they're scorned and they feel like they have something to prove, a chip on their shoulders, look out. Especially if they have the kind of ability that can back it up and really go with it and stuff like that. So let's see. Let's see. Alistair saying that means Chris Bosh is not a Raps legend. This is something we could debate. We could actually do a whole segment on the status of Chris Bosh. Is he a Raptors legend or not? Like the other day, Terrence Ross showed up on Scotty's Twitch, and he's in there, and I'm like, oh, Raptors legend, Terrence Ross. And wait, he still plays in the league, and he's on Orlando. An Orlando fan got a little mad. They're like, no, he's a Magic legend. He's not a Raptors legend. And I was like, could we argue this? Because, he did win his dunk championships in Toronto. He did have kind of most of his success in his career in Toronto. I mean, he did have a big scoring game in Orlando too, but he did have a big scoring game in Toronto also. So it's that kind of thing. It's like when players kind of have two parts of their career or two different teams they played for, it's kind of not totally clear sometimes who they should be more looked at. I think the fact that Bosch's jersey has been retired in Miami for years now, and it's not retired in Toronto, says a lot right there. The fact that he's a champion with Miami and he's not with Toronto says a lot right there. So in some ways, it is true. He's a Heat legend. And in some ways, we have to just allow that to happen and be that. Now, somebody like Kyle going down there and doing what he's doing now, he will never, ever be a Heat legend compared to the Raptor legend that he is. There's just no way. I don't care what he does there in the next year or so. He could win another championship. It won't matter. He's still a Raptor legend. And I think that's the difference. It's really kind of where they found success in these kind of things. And I think it's true that in some ways, Chris Bosh isn't a Raptors legend. He's a Heat legend with a Raptors past. It is what it is. Tom Duke's saying, that's cool, Mo. I'm starting to root for Malachi. I think we all should. And that's part of the reason why I want to do the Share Love Club for him, is that I want to garner some good positive attention from the fan base for Malachi Flynn going in, because I know he's going to have detractors. I know people are going to be like saying, why is this guy still on our team and stuff like that. Denal saying, I think our system isn't the right one for him. He's a great player in the wrong situation. This could be true. This could be very much true. In fact, it's felt like that over the 2 years so far that Malachi's been on the team, that he doesn't exactly fit right in some ways. And it may be partly because he's a point guard size, but he's really kind of a shooting guard once again. He's not really a distributor or a point guard. He could be if he focused on it more, but he's really been more of a shooter scorer kind of little guy. Maybe pretty good on defense too. Alistair saying, which jersey would we retire? Scotty? Because he will have a championship. Oh, for sure. Listen, we're not going to retire Bosch's jersey here in Canada. I don't think we will. There's no sense to it. Like it won't make any sense to do it, especially since his jersey's already retired down there. I don't know. This is a touchy thing. As I said before, the first Raptor that should ever get his jersey retired is Kyle Lowry. And Kyle Lowry, when he retires, his jersey should be retired here in Canada right away. And then maybe DeMar should be right after him. Those two guys, and then we can start saying things like Vince Carter. Sure, then retire Vince Carter's number then. But even then, I don't even know if we do Vince, because Vince and Chris are similar in some ways. They have a career after us, and in some ways, they celebrate their career after us more than they celebrate the career here. Let's see. Alistair saying, we have wings better at playmaking. We don't need a point guard. That's why Fred's about to play off ball. Yeah, that's the thing. And then you've got to think about logically, well, if you're not going to use the point guard as a point guard, then do you need anybody short on your team? Especially if you have big guys who can handle the ball. Then why would you just have anybody? This is why Bobby Webster's 6'9" wingspan vision, it makes sense, because like everybody on the team is all big size and stuff like that, and you still have good, capable ball handlers and playmakers, then why do you need a shorter shooter? That's the logic. So that's the way why I'm a really big proponent of keeping the taller guys trying to make our camp over the shorter guys. That if we get Hernan Gomez and DJ Wilson on this team over guys like Champagny and Brooks, who just left, I'd be happier with that, just because we'd have more height and stuff like that. All right, guys, just coming up on an hour. Thanks for coming in and playing Classic Jurassic Raptor Freak Tuesday Trivia with me, Chris Bosh. And tomorrow it'll be a wild card. I don't know. I'm gonna be inspired sometime today to figure out what the subject matter will be for tomorrow, and we'll have it ready for you guys at 9:30 tomorrow. Could be a short one. Could be something that's just an update on the general news and notes around the Raptors right now. It's kind of really quiet stuff. I missed a question from Mo. What is the question? Oh, okay. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I see which one you're talking about. If Malachi gets minutes, how much would you give him? I don't know. See, that's the thing. I'm not inclined to want to give him minutes. The kind of thing where I would want to do if I was in charge, I would have Fred starting at shooting guard and Scotty starting at point guard, or Pascal starting at point guard, Scotty starting at center, and we would run the ball almost exclusively through the forwards and Delano. I don't even think I would use Malachi off the bench right away. That's part of the problem, and I see why Nick Nurse doesn't use him as much, and maybe Eric Flynn is pissed off is because I'm not inclined to want to use him in my way. Like he's really like an emergency, like at the very end of the bench. Like if we need this kind of guy at this size, that I'd much rather invest time at the point guard and in those minutes in people like Delano Banton and Scotty Barnes and Pascal getting more minutes running the point than that kind of thing. So it's a conundrum. It's kind of a little bit of a tough situation in some ways. Malachi, it may be very true what Alistair's saying, that he just does not fit our team and what we're trying to do with our concept. And that it's just part of the problem with why it hasn't worked out with Malachi and the Raptors. It's just a bad time for him to get drafted by us and try and figure this out because we're moving away from having a small team or any kind of smallness on our team and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, thanks again. Please like, comment, subscribe. They have revealed my subscription number now, and it sucks because I don't want to watch it myself because I don't want to see it go up or down and like feel like either positive or negative from it. Like I've already seen like, oh my gosh, I had this many last night. Now this morning I have this many. I don't want to do that every day. So I'm going to try and ignore that number, even though I could see it now all the time. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm right at 400, guys. You can see it right at 400. You help me get to 1,000. I need 600 more subscribers. And hopefully we can do it this year. We've had good upticks every single time. You got to remember at this time last year, at this point, I had 4 YouTube subscribers. So now I'm at 400. That's good. That's pretty good. So I'll keep climbing and staying true to what I'm doing with the station and stuff like that. So, all right. Yeah, we got good problems. Let's go. Yeah, you just saw it. Yeah, they revealed it yesterday. They said they were going to do it. I didn't want to see it. It's not really because I don't want you guys to see it. It's I don't want to see it because I know I could get obsessive about it. And like if I do a stream and then the next day I see that I lost followers, I'm gonna maybe be like, oh no, you said dumb shit on your stream yesterday or something. I don't want to overthink it, is basically what I'm saying. I just want to do what I've been doing and go with the flow. If I lose followers, I may piss people off because of some of the political stuff I say. I may lose people because they see my number and they're like, oh, he doesn't have anybody watching. Why am I watching him? Stuff like that. I hate that whole thing. I wish they just kept it hidden. I would have told you guys what I got. So Alistair saying we draft Flynn as a Fred replacement because he was about to go to New York. You're on fire lately, buddy. You're solid, bro. Thanks, Tom. I have been enjoying the content and doing stuff with you guys lately. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a little looser in some ways, a little bit more free form. We've been going all over crazy stuff. I feel crazy for getting so emotional yesterday, but it really needed to. And I felt like I needed to get that outlet and just express myself about Bill Russell's passing. So stuff like that. But I appreciate that, Tom. And you guys really are my best encouragers and stuff like that. Even if I have a very select niche audience, it's worth it to me because I enjoy it. I'm not doing this for monetary reasons. I'm not doing this for any kind of reasons other than I really love the Raptors and I want to share my passion for them, just like you guys love the Raptors too. And that's the main thing and stuff like that. And building the community and building something bigger than just me and having all of us involved and doing things together and talking about it and on the same page. It's been really awesome. And I will continue to do it, even if I'm dismayed by the way the number goes up and down. Let's see. Monique saying, you're back in a group on Facebook, I see. Yeah, I came back to Raptors Nation because I got kicked out of another Facebook group that I was posting my content in because they thought I was spamming it, but I wasn't really spamming it. I was putting new streams up every time, but I don't know. You can't really do anything about that. Once a certain group kicks you out, you can't get back in. So I went and looked for other Raptors groups and got back involved in those and stuff like that. David, I appreciate you too. And I know that you and your brother are helping me out, because when you said that, I did see an uptick in more subscriptions and stuff like that. It's a slow climb. It may be a big dump, and all of a sudden there may be something that happens this season that blows something way wide open. It may be something that people are really starved to hear about the Raptors right before the season. It may be that like we get exciting stuff happening during the season and people want to see more and get more content. I'm expecting jumps at different times, like in different places. In fact, I'm actually really happy that the subscriptions are going up in the summer, because this is a dead time. There isn't a whole lot going on. And the fact that I'm actually gaining momentum still in the off season is actually really good, because I was expecting a dead time and that I wouldn't start picking up people again until like training camp and stuff like that. So I appreciate you guys also. Thanks for playing. And once again, I'll have the new standings of the trivia posted within the next 15-20 minutes. All right, guys, have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, Wednesday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please subscribe. It really does help. And share and like and comment. All that kind of stuff is cheesy, but it actually does really help. And things like that and stuff like that. So, all right, guys, thanks again, and have a great Tuesday. All the best. Celebrate Chris Bosh. Celebrate all the old Raptors, but especially celebrate our young Big Four. 21-year-old Scotty Barnes having a badass steak at Boa Steakhouse in West Hollywood last night. Looks so good, Scotty. And I hope you're having just such a good time playing at Rico Hines this week with Pascal and everybody. And don't let James flop or anything on you or anything like that. Just stay away from James. Maybe have some jokes with him. I don't know. Maybe some camaraderie with James Harden wouldn't hurt. Who knows? All right, guys. Have a great day, and I appreciate y'all. Let's go, Raptors!